Plant reproduction involves a fascinating process that allows plants to produce new plants. The flower, which is the reproductive part of most plants, plays a crucial role in this process. The flower contains the reproductive organs, stamens. The stamens are the male reproductive parts of the flower. Each stamen has two parts. Anther. The anther produces pollen, which contains the male gametes, sperm cells. Filament. The filament supports the anther and holds it in position so it can release pollen. Carpels. The carpels are the female reproductive parts of the flower. A carpel consists of stigma, the sticky top part that captures pollen. The stigma is where pollen grains land and stick. Style. The tube that connects the stigma to the ovary. Ovary contains ovules, egg cells. After fertilization, the ovules develop into seeds. Petals. Petals are the colorful parts of the flower that attract pollinators, such as insects and birds. They provide a landing spot for pollinators and can be brightly colored or have patterns that guide them to the nectar. Sepals. Sepals are the green leaf-like structures that protect the flower bud before it opens. They support the flower and are usually found at the base. Pollination is the process of transferring pollen from the male parts of the flower, anther, to the female parts, stigma. This is essential for fertilization to occur. Some plants rely on the wind to carry pollen from one flower to another. These plants usually have small, inconspicuous flowers without petals because they don't need to attract animals. Examples include grasses and many trees. Many plants use insects such as bees, butterflies, and beetles to transfer pollen. These plants often have brightly colored flowers with a sweet scent to attract pollinators. When insects visit flowers to collect nectar, they brush against the anthers and pick up pollen, which they then transfer to other flowers, aiding in fertilization. Once pollen reaches the stigma, it travels down the style to the ovary. Fertilization occurs when a sperm cell from the pollen merges with an egg cell in the ovule. After fertilization, the ovule develops into a seed, and the ovary becomes a fruit. The seeds are dispersed to grow into new plants, completing the cycle of reproduction. In summary, the flower is the key reproductive organ in plants, containing both male and female parts. Pollination, whether by wind or insects, is essential for fertilization. Understanding these processes helps us appreciate the complexity and beauty of plant reproduction.